Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, buddy. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the podcast that will never get a gold, silver, or bronze for anything worthwhile. Welcome to the Red Hot Underdogs.
Yes, I like that. It's true. We'll never get gold. We'll never get silver. We'll never get bronze. We'll probably never be in the race.
You know what? This, and I'm completely biased, I make no apologies for it. This is the most underrated podcast in all of YouTube history.
Yes.
For all of you people within the age bracket of 35 up to 100, I know you love this no bullshit podcast. I say that age bracket because that's exactly what we are.
Yeah.
We dive in, none of this prim and proper horse shit or edited on the editing floor or glossy podcast. We are what we are. We bang on. We're like a couple of blokes in the bloody pub, but we will rip in because we're a no-nonsense, no bullshit outfit.
Yeah.
Let's start with the Winter Olympics, shall we?
Yeah, okay. Well, what happened to us wearing beanies? Hey?
Yeah, I know. We kind of forgot, but kids, responsibilities, being tired, all of that horse shit. When you're in your late 40s, you get a lot of brain fog. It's the first steps to dementia.
Oh yeah, definitely it is. Winter Olympics and the Olympics, full stop. It's that time that you kind of watch stuff that you never watch and you don't watch again for another 4 years. Like,
correct.
You know, the skiing moguls. When do you ever watch that stuff? Like,
never.
You watch a race or two every 4 years and enjoy it. You know?
Yeah, I do enjoy it. I'll be honest. I enjoy it to a point. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not a massive fan of the Winter Olympics.
Yeah,
I feel like I should be because of the snow and everything, but I'm just not. I find it hard to get into it. That being said, for those of you who are, we are here to accommodate you. Nonetheless, for Australia, we've actually won 3 gold medals. So
3 yesterday. Wait, 3 gold or 3 medals?
3 gold. Okay. We've actually won, I believe we won 4 medals. We also won a silver, but congratulations to Cooper Woods, who won the men's moguls. So congratulations to you.
You go over the little, you go over the bumps, you know?
Yeah, you do two jumps in the air, and in between those, you do go over the little mounds. And for anyone who is unfamiliar, it's all about your form and keeping tight and going down in between the mounds. Plus, you get scored on what you do in the freestyle as far as what you do acrobatically in the air between the mounds.
Sometimes it's a race, right? Sometimes you got to get to the end like fastest. Is that right or no?
Yeah, so in between the timing that you do in between the little mounds and the jumps in the air, you get scored on the lot of it. And someone has to win and someone has to lose. And for Australia, it was Cooper Woods. Congratulations to you, good sir, for winning a gold medal. And we cannot leave out the women, of course. They are flying the flag for Australia once again, picking up the slack, what the useless men can't achieve. Josie Baff, congratulations to you, 23-year-old, won the women's snowboard cross. So this is where they all have like a big race on the snowboard. This is actually one of the more entertaining and interesting events in the Winter Olympics. I actually do really like this one. So she's 23, wins a gold medal. Fantastic. Like, you can dine out on that for life there, sweetheart. Not meaning to be condescending by saying sweetheart. Term of endearment. Fucking brilliant effort. Well done at 23 years of age. Bloody awesome.
You're a real Wonder Woman.
You're a Wonder Woman, you know. We've really got to glaze the women here because they're doing very, very well. The other one is Jakara Anthony. She won the women's dual moguls. So she got a gold for the women's dual moguls. Congratulations to her. This is actually her second Not necessarily at this Olympics. She's only won one gold at this Olympics, but that's huge. But this is her second Winter Olympics gold medal. She
Wow.
also won one last time in 2022
Yep.
in the women's single moguls. She missed out on that this year, but she picked up the double moguls. So
Good.
congratulations to her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great. Okay.
yeah,
All right.
fantastic. But I just want to make a special mention to her because it was actually, I'm actually very impressed that she won the gold because she actually crashed out during the single moguls
Ah,
the day or two before. Now, she could have dropped a lip and she could have just fallen to pieces because she won the gold in the previous Olympics.
yeah.
But to her credit, took a whole lot of resolve and internal fortitude in order to win the gold. So that's something to be greatly admired.
Yeah. I'm inspired. I'm going to start moguling. I'm going to
Beautiful.
to my
Fan
just do a bit of double moguling. You know.
Fantastic. So for those three gold medals, Cooper Woods, Josie Baff, and Jakara Anthony, and for our silver medalist, Scotty James. Now,
Ah,
Scott James was highly hyped to win the gold. They even had a Netflix documentary on him,
yep.
instead of the whole narrative being potentially the path to getting a gold.
Yep.
But unfortunately for him, he picked up a silver. Not too bad. Silver
No,
should be great.
Silver's great. Silver's great.
Unfortunately, he himself afterwards was enormously disappointed because he had won a bronze two Winter Olympics ago. He won silver at the last Olympics,
Yeah.
and he won silver at this Olympics for the snowboard half pipe.
Yeah.
He's a high achiever. He's won multiple world championships, so he's highly hyped each and every time. Just hasn't been able to get over that hurdle.
Yeah.
But you know what? When it's all said
Mogul.
and done,
Not hurdle, mogul. Get over that. Mogul.
mogul.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
well, no, half pipe.
Yeah, but there's no moguls on half pipes.
That's
You
right. Well, he's
know,
competed in the
hurdles on
half
them too.
pipe.
There's no hurdles
Yes,
on half pipes too.
that's true.
Lip.
Figuratively, not literally.
Yeah.
Just figuratively, not literally. But listen, for him, mixed feelings, bit of disappointment. I think that'll be his last go at maybe potentially getting a gold because he's 31 now. He'll
Oh, yeah.
be turning 32 later on in the year. So you have to imagine that next Winter Olympics, he'll either be at the back end of 35 or he'll be 36.
Yeah.
And it's a young man's game, just like podcasting is.
Yeah,
So
everything's a young man's game. What's an old man's game? Everything, you know?
So I'm going to imagine that that's his last shot. But guess what? A bronze and two silvers and a Netflix documentary ain't half bad. I
No.
know you wanted the gold, but hey, we don't always get what we want. I wanted a 10-inch penis, but
Yeah,
I've got like a 2-inch. So you don't always get what you want.
that is true.
Anyway,
I'm on a
moving
2 inch and I got a 10 inch. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah.
Hey, I wish I was like somebody at Subway food restaurants walking in and asking for a foot long. Trust me.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I think we should move to rugby league.
Okay. Well, wait. Okay. Straight to rugby league. When are we going to do boxing next? I reckon we should do
We
it.
we we
Yeah.
can do
Yeah,
boxing.
let's
I'll
do
say that to
boxing.
the end, hey.
Okay. Up to you.
So I got it in my notes. There is plenty of boxing because otherwise we'll go down a rabbit hole for ages. I know what we're like with
Yeah.
boxing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So uh, during the week, South Sydney signed Payne Haas, who is the Broncos' key firebrand stalwart, number one forward. He's left the Premiers to go to the Rabbitohs, which
And
is
why?
absolutely massive.
Money.
No, actually not money, because he actually matched. He just said, if you can match what the Broncos are offering me, I'll take it. And the Broncos actually offered him more. It is reported that the Broncos then offered him $7.8 million for 6 years.
Oh,
He's actually taken $3.6 million for 3 years for Souths.
ridiculous. Honestly. Why would anyone do that?
Well, it just depends. I mean, he does have a number of situations in his life Well, it's not all about money for him because, unlike a lot of people, his life has played out pretty much like a soap opera. Both of his parents are in jail,
Mm.
so he's looking after two of his younger brothers. He's actually one of 10 children.
Mm.
So he's one of
No
seven
wonder that.
boys and three girls, would
No
you
wonder
believe?
his parents are in jail if he got seven or whatever.
Oh, it'd drive you nuts, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So, uh, anyway, and he's actually got a son and daughter of his own. So, a lot going on Payne Haas's plate, but you wouldn't know it because the guy is as cool and calm as ice.
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
Cool,
he's just composed.
cool as a cucumber in a bowl full
Yeah.
of hot sauce.
That'll do it for me. I can run with that one. So I think he also wanted to move away from the hoi polloi of Queensland. There's a
Yeah.
lot of fanfare and everything in Queensland. You got to remember, like they're fanatical up there. They get hundreds of people turning up to Broncos training
Yeah.
practices.
Yeah.
There's also a narrative that Michael Maguire trains these players extremely hard.
Mm.
So, not saying that he's being soft, but I think there's also that level of wanting to preserve your body into the later years and optimizing your true potential and talent for as long as you can so that it can maximize your earning potential.
Just interesting taking such a huge pay cut because there's nothing to say that he won't he will be good enough in 3 years' time, to get anything near that. So it really could be the worst decision in his life, really.
Well, it could be and it couldn't be, but also we don't know what else is going on in his life. There's a lot of media speculation of a falling out with the coach. He denied that, the coach denied that. I actually don't believe that to be the case. I think everyone just speculates a whole lot without knowing what's really going on.
Yeah.
There were rumours that he was talking to Latrell Mitchell and David Fafita, who are
Yeah.
now south.
Yeah.
Obviously, Mitchell's been there for a few years. Fafita's moving down from the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
He's close to both of those guys and the Wayne Bennett effect, who has pretty much been like a second dad to him, a
Yeah.
second father.
Yeah.
Uh, Years ago, he was actually meant to go to the Storm, and then Wayne Bennett called him up just before Payne Haas was about to get to the airport and said, "Turn around, let's have a meeting." And he ended up going to the Broncos. And
Yeah.
the
Wow.
rest is history.
Okay.
So Wayne Bennett's been a huge part of his life as like a second father too. So
Yeah.
there is that. Both of his parents are in jail. Yeah, as I discussed, his mum for manslaughter and his
Yeah.
dad for drug trafficking.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
So
time.
yeah, a lot going on. Anyway, he'll move down. Good luck to Souths.
Yeah.
Brilliant news for them.
Yeah.
Buddy,
Well,
fantastic.
he'll fit into South and the Redfern area really nicely, with those
I
credentials.
think he will.
Yeah.
I will say this. I think if he had, I do, hanging out with Choc Mundine and the boys at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
So it'll be awesome. I will say this. I do think that if he hadn't have won that premiership, he might have stayed with the Broncos. I
Uh,
think that's also a deciding factor. You know what? I've
yeah.
won a premiership now with the Broncos and I
Yeah.
want a fresh start.
Yeah.
Time to move on. He might have got a bit jaded with the environment too.
Yeah. All right. Let's move
Yep.
on to next one.
Our next one is Zach Lomax.
Okay.
Now, he is in a contractual dispute because he was an idiot who decided to sign up for R360, the huge international rugby tournament that was going to happen.
Ah.
Now, he's in a dispute with both Parramatta and with Melbourne. Melbourne want to sign him for his services, but Parramatta go, no, fuck you.
Hmm.
We signed him for 4 years. He only did 1 year with us. And we let him go to R360.
Hmm.
We don't want him playing with you or anybody.
Hmm.
So,
What's his
in,
options? Just to play with
interest.
Parramatta. Is that his only options?
Well, that's what Parramatta say, and Parramatta are actually extremely smart. This is going to court, but Parramatta made him sign a contract that said throughout the duration of the rest of the 4 year contract, being 3 years because he had already played 1 year for Parramatta,
Yeah.
he couldn't play for any other NRL side if the R360 venture had fallen over.
Mm.
So, and the other thing I want to mention is actually on $700,000 a year for the Eels. So it's $2.8 million over 4 years.
Will the Eels take him back for 3 years? I mean,
They don't want to.
well,
They said, no, thanks. You left our club. And
can he can is he still going to get that money though?
no, because he didn't fulfill the contract. You get the $700,000 for the first year. The rest will just stay in their cap, I believe.
But
And
it's like if they're not going to give him the job back, then he should be able to play for someone else. Do you know what I mean?
no, well, because they made him sign a contract before he went to R360 saying, if you leave now for the duration of this 4 year period with us, you can't play for any other NRL side. And he signed it. And now the Storm want his services. The Storm originally offered Parramatta $200,000 transfer fee. They said no. They then offered the Eels. Storm then offered the Eels 300,000. The Eels still said no. I love what the Eels are doing. They're standing firm.
Hmm.
One thing I will say though is that
You do? You love what the Eels are doing, standing
I
firm?
I do. You don't want to be at our club. You don't believe in what we stand for, no matter how good a player you are. Screw you. You didn't want to be with us. We don't want you playing with us. We want you all in or not at all. And I love that.
All right. Okay. Well, what
I think
if he wants rugby league, then he'll have to go to England then. Can he go to England? Is that possible?
yeah, that might actually be an option. The thing that also is strange is the chairman of the rugby league, Peter Volandis, who I think has been doing a magnificent job since he was assigned to that role. I think he's had his first downgrade for me, his first thumbs down in the fact that when the R360 situation was happening,
Tell us a bit
at
about the
okay,
R360 situation.
R360 is a huge rugby union tournament that is meant to be getting played internationally around the world at
Keep
such
talking. I'm going to grab some milk for my tea. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, at such venues like France and Milan and Miami, so on and so forth. So it's meant to be some huge, extravagant rugby extravaganza with the best of the best rugby union players and rugby league players. Be that as it may,
They're playing rugby union. It's not rugby league.
no, and that's what I just said. Huge rugby union
Okay.
tournament played all around the world
Yep.
in Miami, Milan, Paris, so on and so
And what
forth.
happened to Lomax? Why can't he play with them now?
So what happened with R360 is the whole thing fell over.
Hmm.
They couldn't get the signings. They don't have enough players. They don't have a broadcasting deal because they don't have enough players. They had the money to begin with. And Peter Volandis, this is what I was going on about with Peter Volandis. He came out when R360 was announced and said, listen, any player who signs with them, the NRL will enforce a 10-year ban on your career in the NRL.
Yeah, wow.
And since Lomax has come back, there's been radio silence from Peter Volandis and the NRL. It just goes to show you that marquee players that put bums on seats get the special treatment and don't always believe the threats, because that's what I've been interested about with the media. They haven't come and said, hey, what about your 10-year ban that you promised? Where's that now? Like 2 or 3 months later, you've gone silent on it. Now it's going to court between the Storm and the Eels. If you were fair income about that particular threat, you'd be like, well, there'll be no court case because I already said a 10-year ban.
Yeah, yeah. Did
So,
anybody else
you
sign
know,
with R360?
Funnily enough, Payne Haas has an R360 clause in his Souths contract, whereby if R360 gets up and running within the 3-year deal, now they plan to, I think, start in 2028 or 2029,
Well, it's not all
R360.
over, so it could happen, you reckon? It's
No, yeah, it's not all over, but he's actually got a plan. He's got a clause in there, Payne Haas, for R360, like Zach Lomax was going to sign, but he hadn't officially signed. That's the difference. Haas hadn't signed with R360. He's got a clause in there going he might sign with them if they get up and running. Lomax had, and the NRL said you can't. If you sign with them, that'll be the end of you.
R360 doesn't sound too half bad. Like it sounds pretty good.
No, but there's been a bit of a disaster in getting the organisation up and
Okay,
running.
but if it happens,
Mm.
and what so would have international rugby teams coming and playing here in Australia?
Well, they'd have certain teams from certain areas around the world playing in a competition. It's not like Australia versus New Zealand versus. So
I
it'd be
know.
like
Yeah.
Paris and London would be teams, and someone else might be team.
Look,
Sydney might be
I
a
like
team.
it. I like it. And let's be honest, rugby needs something. It needs a big change, you know?
Yeah,
And
it needs an injection. Yeah,
if they take a few rugby league superstars,
yeah.
I'm okay with that too, you know?
It's all R360's also been put on the back burner because I believe we've got the World Cup coming up.
Yeah.
I believe it might be next year.
Yeah.
So what they wanted to do was do it after the World Cup because they
Yeah.
realized when they started it before World Cup, a lot of countries then go, you go to R360, you can forget about your World Cup.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
therefore, they're going to do it after. And
Yeah.
then that might motivate other players then to go, well, I've played my World Cup. I might go to R360 and take that big bag of cash.
Yeah, it's a signing it's a signing orgy for teams, not just with rugby union, but rugby with soccer as well. Like we got this soccer World Cup something coming up soon. That's
Yeah, yeah,
a fun Red Hot Underdogs episode. And
yeah.
after the FIFA World Cup, the soccer one, then the signings are just a plethora of signings. So
Yeah,
wait till after. Definitely wait till after. There you go.
absolutely. And I think the people running R360 also realized, yeah, you know what? We got to wait till after the World Cup to try and do it because it got to the stage where, like, not only could they not get broadcasting rights because they couldn't get the players, but if they got enough players but not of the highest quality, about the only thing that was available for them as far as viewership was concerned was going to be watching it on Facebook.
Oh.
Now, that would have been a big black eye to
I don't have
R360.
Facebook. Do you have Facebook?
Invite your mates around and have some tinnies while watching R360 on Facebook.
Yeah,
No,
Facebook.
thank you.
Do you have
I
Facebook?
do not have
No, neither
Facebook.
do I.
No. You know, I'm from the 70s. For the longest time before I knew it was Facebook, I thought it was my face and Spacebook. I was like completely out of the fucking loop. I'm not a tech man, never into Facebook, not even today. I don't really even have Instagram. My wife actually signed me up for Instagram. I don't use it.
Yeah. So you've
I
got.
barely have an email, trust me.
Well, I know you have problems with your bloody password, your email. It's every week.
Absolutely. Mate, I may as well be off the grid. And what's with all these passwords? I'm not so self-important to think I need a fucking password.
I
No, thank
don't
you.
want to get off sport topic, but just for 10
Mm.
seconds, yesterday,
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
trying to get on a computer and get into Hotmail, like,
yeah,
and it was not letting me. It was like put in this pass key and sending me codes and do this and
yeah,
do the hokey pokey. And I'm just like, I felt like calling you and just saying,
yeah,
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't need
100%.
this connected to that and that connected to this and this. You know, I
Yeah.
just I'm sick of technology. I'm absolutely sick of it. It's too hard. I get
Oh my, I think there are a number of procedures just to give people jobs, to be perfectly honest. But nonetheless, So
Yeah. Okay.
this
Rugby
was
league,
so
rugby
we're
league.
pretty much done. We're pretty much
Rug-
done with Zach Lomax. But
Let's
one
go on
thing
with
I
rugby
will,
league. Well,
well,
I'm keen for rugby league. It's going to be good.
yeah,
Oh, you've got a bit more, do you? Okay, hit me.
just one thing I'll say about Zach Lomax. I
Mm,
wouldn't encourage any team to trust him. He walked out on St George with 2 years remaining on his
that's right.
contract.
Yep.
He walked out on Parramatta with 3 years remaining on his contract. And when the R360 fell over, he wanted to return like the prodigal son. Good player, fantastic player, marquee player, but
Yep.
let's face it, if you were robbing a bank with Zach Lomax
Yep.
and you were stuck on a barbed wire fence
Yep.
and he could get away,
Yep.
instead of coming back to save you, he wouldn't
Yep.
save you, he'd save himself. He's
Yep.
all about conditions for himself. Me,
Yep.
me, 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 me.
He'd take your
So
shoes, mate. That's what he'd do. He'd undo your shoelaces and take your shoes and say, "See ya." Wouldn't want
he's
to.
basically the biblical Judas of the rugby league, let's be honest.
It's Judas.
He
Okay.
is.
Now,
Rugby league Judas. So
um,
there we go.
what? Okay, just last thing. What do
Yeah.
you think he'll do?
I am hoping that he gets the 10-year ban from rugby league. Serves you fucking right for being too greedy. Serves you right for being an idiot. They didn't have enough signings to put your signature
Well,
down on a piece of paper to begin with. So
again,
I want the rugby league to stand by it. But what I think will generally happen, I hate to say it, I think the Storm might get their own way. I think they'll find a way to put bums on seats. The NRL will do a backflip. None of it will make sense, but we'll have to live with Zach Lomax playing for the Storm, despite countless reasons why he shouldn't.
okay. Well, good prediction. Moving
Yeah.
on. Let's predict. Are we going to do boxing now? What are we doing?
Yeah, we can do boxing.
Boxing
So,
it's starting to shape up as a good year, 2026 for boxing, correct?
yeah, absolutely. So, on either June the 6th or June the 13th,
Yep.
in a venue still to be determined, Tim the Phoenix Zoo, because he can no longer be the sole
No,
taker after
the
losing.
soul's been taken. He's the rising phenom.
Yeah,
Phenom.
after losing your three of your last five fights, you can't be walking around as the sole taker when
No,
you're the soul that's been taken.
no, no. His souls are gone.
Yeah, see, I mean, he got to the stage where he didn't even have soles on his shoes. He
No,
was
totally.
that decrepit after losing.
10 minutes, cuz. 10 minutes.
10 minutes, great timing. None
What's so it will be in the States, Tim's next fight. Is that right?
still to be determined. Could be Australia, could be the
Okay,
States.
that's good news. And tell us about his opponent.
Errol Spence Jr., former world champion,
Okay.
and made multiple defenses, very good fighter, had some great wins in his career over the
Now, the
likes of Chris
words
Al.
you're saying, Drewy, they're very yesteryear, former, was,
Yeah.
is
Errol
he or
Spence is
was he?
No, Errol Spence is very much on the back end of his career. This
Ah,
is why it's probably a good fight for Tim Zoo. In the past, Errol Spence beat the likes of Kell Brook, Chris Algieri, Mikey Garcia, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, and your Dennis Ugas, all of which are former world champions.
hmm.
Uh, the only thing is, Errol Spence Jr., by the time they fight, would not have fought until almost 3 years.
Yeah, wow.
So that's a long time out of
But
the ring.
why is Errol fighting even? Why?
Oh, look, I just think that sometimes these guys can't walk away from the game. I will say this, in their primes, prime for prime, Spence absolutely smashes Zoo every day of the week, whether it be on points or not, or knockout. Not necessarily a knockout, could be a knockout prime for prime, but 10 times out of 10 in their prime, I have Spence every day of the week and twice on Sunday. The
Yeah.
difference is Spence in 2019 had a massive car accident. It
Jesus.
flipped 3 times, knocked out most of his teeth. He got ejected from a Ferrari, his Ferrari, lucky to
Okay,
be
that's
alive.
that's that's how you want to have a car accident though. Like you don't want, oh yeah, I've had a crash in my Toyota. You want I flipped 3 times in a Ferrari.
Yeah,
That's how you
yeah.
if you're gonna have a car crash, he knows how to do it. He knows.
I remember back in the day, he posted on Twitter, now X,
Yeah.
absolute savage because he survived it. No, mate, you weren't a savage. You were just fell ass backwards into a shit ton of luck in order to be alive.
Yeah.
You were not a savage.
Yeah.
You were just fucking lucky.
Yeah. And
But
stupid.
thank God you were
He driving?
surviving, but don't brag about being that lucky.
Was he driving when he had the
He
accident?
was driving and he was drunk
Oh,
and
in a
he's
Ferrari.
had a problem. He's had a problem with alcohol outside the ring,
Yeah.
and for the longest time, he's actually lived the party lifestyle whilst being an elite fighter.
Yeah.
The only problem is his last fight was against the fantastically elite and highly decorated Terence Bud Crawford, who's
Yeah.
now retired.
Yeah.
You know, Bud Crawford obviously beat our Jeff Horn, knocked him out. He obviously knocked out Spence, and he beat the great Saul Canelo Alvarez
Yeah.
before he retired. In that fight, Crawford actually won by 9 round TKO.
Mm.
He knocked down Spence once in the second round and twice in the seventh, a total of 3 times. So Spence got absolutely beaten from pillar to post by Crawford, but until then, he beat a number of fantastic fighters and nothing to be sneezed at. This won't be a walk in the park for Tim Tszyu. In fact, it's the perfect fight for both of them. It will determine whether Spence is good enough to continue with his career, likewise for Tim Tszyu.
Yeah. Okay. Well, great. That's good news. So it's a decent fight. How likely, last thing about it, how likely it will happen in Australia?
Reasonably likely, but I would say more likely to happen in the States because Errol Spence is from Texas and they're likely to hold it in the Dallas AT&T Stadium, I believe it is. And he's got a huge following there. So if it's about numbers and attracting fans, I think they could fill out that stadium there. Likewise, maybe Tim Tszyu, although not so much now because a bit of the gloss has
Yeah.
been taken off with Tim's demolition loss to Murtazaliev. Likewise, the second fight with Fundora was a disaster.
Yeah.
And I guess his only credible loss where he was somewhat competitive was the Crimson Mask first Fundora fight. So Tim Tszyu's lost a bit of that luster. So I dare say it'll be in Dallas, Texas.
Okay. Yeah.
I just think it's the perfect fight for both. If Tim Tszyu can't beat a faded 3 years out of the ring Spence,
Yeah.
he probably shouldn't continue. I don't think he'll win a world title anyway.
Yeah.
If
We've
Spence,
said that.
likewise for Spence, he probably feels that he's accomplished enough to
Yeah.
beat Tszyu, and if he can't beat Tszyu now, then he
He'll
probably shouldn't continue. So great fight.
Yep, great fight. That's good. And we seem to say that every fight now with Tim. This is do or die. But moving on from him, we got 4 minutes, and I want to spend that time talking about a better fighter, Jai Opataya. Almost right.
Yes, yes, yes.
So who's he fighting when, and is his opponent creditable?
So he's meant to be fighting Brandon Glanton coming up in the next few months.
No date set? I thought there's a date set.
There probably is a date set, but as per usual, the news has been dominated by Tim Tszyu. If you want to find out for Jai, check it out on Google.
Yeah.
Ask Dr. Google. I should be checking it out because I'm more heavily invested in Australia's best boxer, Jai Opataya. I should kick my own ass for not checking the date because this has been the great tragedy of Australian boxing because this is the man we should all be getting behind, not constantly sniffing the seat of Tim Tszyu.
Okay.
You know,
Tell us about his opponent. Do you know anything about him?
Brandon Glanton, he's had 3 losses, but he's had I would say maybe 23, 24 victories. So he's no scrub. He's tough. He's durable. They've actually picked him so that he's durable enough to last some rounds,
Is he from the
but more than
States?
likely will not win because Jai Opetaia wants one of those unification bouts so he can get another belt.
Um, where's he from? He's from the States
He's
or
an American. He's an American.
and that'll be here, right? Because that's not too big for American.
Yeah, it'll be here. So, look, Glanton has lost to some reasonably ordinary opposition. However, he has got a very good chin. He is durable. He will go rounds with Jai Opetaia because you can't knock the guy out with a concrete block. But I won't be surprised if Jai Opetaia knocks him out because he's got that touch of death in his fists,
Yeah.
dynamite in his fists. I just urge Australia and the media to start getting behind this guy. He's the one division below heavyweight and he's a world champion. He's Australian and he's undefeated. If ever there were reasons to jump on someone, it's all of those, yet we still go back to the guy with the surname.
Mm. So that happens soon. That's a big fight. But probably it should be bigger than the zoo fight, right?
It should be, but it won't be because the zoo name attracts all the casuals. And like I say, the media have their ass so far, their nose so far up the zoo ass that it's just almost sickening. It's ridiculous.
Has it been like where are they fighting? Do we know where?
No, I think though, I think they've got a date, but the location is still to be determined. So look out for that one. They've still got to determine the location, but I think
Was in
they've
Gold
got a
Coast.
date
Will they
set
do
in
it there
place.
again, do you reckon? The Goldie?
Possibly the Gold Coast or maybe Sydney. He has expressed a want for fighting in Sydney, given the fact he's originally from the Central Coast.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there.
I think that's a great idea. Bring it to Sydney. Drewy, that's us.
That's us. Beautiful.
A really good
Fantastic.
episode, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we covered a fair bit.
Yeah, yeah. I could have talked bit more about Jai, but I'm still happy with it, you know.
Yeah, me too. Like and subscribe, everybody. Don't forget, otherwise I'll knock you out with a Jai right hand.
The Jai right hand.
Well, actually, it's a Drewy right hand. It's not really going to do much than just tickle your chin.
Let's see that finger, that bong finger you got.
Yeah, it's a bit of a ski slope, but what do you do? Old rugby
Mogul,
injury.
mate. It's a mogul.
It is a mogul. I did that. Good.
3, 2, 1. We've started a new meeting because we didn't finish, and suddenly we're in such a rush, and now we got all the time in the world. So
Yeah, that's true. I can take my time a little bit.
take your time. And I thought even after we do this list, we could talk about 100 episodes with the Red Hot Underdogs just for 5 minutes or so. Is that good?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the Dragons.
Dragons, number 16, was it?
Number 15.
15. Okay.
Number 15. So Shane Flanagan, stop picking your son.
Yeah.
We covered that. Also, like I covered, outside of Cook, Gutherson and Holmes, who are all veterans of the game, the roster falls off a cliff very, very sharply. And I'm sorry, I just don't see too much hope for the Red V this year.
Yeah, not many people could argue that. I said that just now, didn't I? There you go.
Yeah. So I think we all feel that. And I think that's pretty much covered the
They're a
Dragons.
wooden spoon contender, definitely.
They are a contender for it. I can't argue that one either.
One question.
Yeah.
Is Manly a wooden spoon contender?
I'll put it this way. I think Manly suck, but I don't think they suck bad enough to be a wooden spoon contender.
Agreed.
They're just that next echelon up from club fighter.
Should you say they don't suck bad enough or they don't suck enough?
And, this is a Manly fan. We're not hating on Manly. Anyone who's been watching the Red Hot Underdogs know we're Manly fans through and through, which means we're probably a bit hard on them, but That's what people do with support their team.
Yeah.
It's like a parent with their child. So
Yeah.
there it is.
More likely, Drewy, last question.
Yeah.
More likely Manly make the top eight or make the wooden spoon?
I top eight, but neither. I think more likely they just fall into that no man's land, the
Yeah.
big black hole in the
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But number 16,
16. Yeah.
none other than the Newcastle
Oh,
Knights.
yeah. No argument there.
I think they'll avoid last year's wooden spoon only just mainly basically on the premise of their new signing, which is Dylan Brown from the Eels. I think he'll add just enough class to help them avoid the wooden spoon.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound strange?
Yeah.
Add
Sounds good.
just enough class to avoid the wooden spoon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, their best players are Bradman Best, Dominic Young, Dane Gagai, Kalen Ponga, and you've got Brown. They're the players to look out for. They've got an extremely underwhelming forward pack.
Mm.
It's their forward pack has very little potency. It's like somebody's put a tic tac in a 98-year-old's Viagra case. It's
Um,
just lacks that starch and
I think
stiffness.
2 years ago, you tipped him as fifth, though. Or was that
I
like
don't think I've
2 years?
no, I never tipped them as fifth. No. No, I had them last year. I'm gonna say last year I had them around 12th.
Okay. What about the year before? I think you had him as eighth or ninth or
I
something.
don't think no, I don't think we did a prediction one the year before. Last year was our first one. So there you go. But even from then they've fallen a long, long way.
Yeah.
And I think the ghosts of last year are gonna haunt them.
Yeah.
They've got Justin Holbrook in as a new coach, who in some sort of strange way, now I'm going to reveal who came last. Anyone with half a brain can reveal who came last. But
Well,
the
just
ironic thing is,
yeah.
I've got Knights at 16th,
Yeah.
and the guy who was coach at the Titans who got sacked is Justin Holbrook, who's now been appointed to steer the ship at the Knights.
Ah, okay.
For
Yeah.
the record, I don't think he's a terrible coach. I don't think he's an awesome coach. I just think he's, a warm pie without sauce
Yeah. Yeah.
in a club that has very little in the way of forwards and two backs to rest your rosary beads on. It
Yeah.
doesn't make for a great listing for me, the Mighty Knights. But shout out to all you Novocastrians.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. 17.
None other than the
Last.
Gold Coast Titans.
Oh, you've given a spoon to the Titans. But
Yes.
what's happened with good old Desi now? So he's gone. Yeah.
Oh, mate, he's up there on the coast going to the RSL clubs, banging the old birds who have the blue rinse hair.
Yeah.
Playing on the slaps, the bloody Queen of the Nile, having a swim in the
Rugby
ocean.
league at all?
Big fitness guy, big beach guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he working in rugby league or he's
I
just
doubt it. I think he's had it with league.
he's staying up there though, right?
Yeah, I think so. I could just imagine Desi just
Yeah.
overlooking the bloody beach there in his bloody
I think he's
in
fishing.
his spa bath with his big panoramic views going, this'll do me now. I've achieved what I wanted to as a player, as a coach.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't leave on great terms as a coach,
Yeah.
he's had a prolific career as both.
Yeah. Do you think
And
he'll be back?
no, I don't. And it shows how much we give a shit about the Titans
Yeah.
when we're spending our entire moment talking about their former coach
Yeah.
as opposed to their chances.
Okay, let's talk about the chances then. You know?
The chances aren't great.
Yeah.
So they had three massive losses to their roster.
Who's their coach?
Justin Holbrook.
Ah, okay, yep.
Yes. It was actually also, ironically enough, a former Knights player.
No.
So anyway,
Is that ironic or is that coincidence?
it could be either. I
Yeah.
don't know. I need somebody smarter than my own intellectual pay grade to decipher the difference between the two.
Yeah.
Nonetheless,
Yeah.
they had some losses in David Fafita, Khan Pereira, and Brian Kelly, which were all three big losses. Not necessarily massive losses on a scale when you consider top teams or middle of the road teams, but this was big
This was their
for
best players.
the Titans. This is big for the Titans. So, like, if you're a bird looking to pick up some bloke at a club and you've only got one tooth left in your mouth, and some bloke accidentally knocks it out at the nightclub because he waves his drink around,
knocks your one tooth out.
yeah, then you're fucked.
Yeah.
And that's what the Titans are in losing Fafita, Khan Pereira, and Kelly.
Where's that Pereira gone? He was good.
I mentioned him earlier on. He's gone to the Warriors.
Warriors, okay.
I do believe.
Yeah, he's good.
So,
who's got? They got rid of three of the best players. Who have they got?
Oh, they've still got some very good players like AJ Brimson, Tino Fasulamala-Awi, Jaden Campbell, Keanu Kinney, Bo Fermor, and Verrills.
But my question is, they've sold three of their best players. What players have they got?
No, they haven't brought in any really good players. But those key players that I pointed out, Fasulamala-Awi, Brimson, Campbell, Kinney, Fermor, and Verrills, it's more, this is why I've got them at 17th. They're the key players to look out for, but it's more of the same. It's more of the same usual suspects, whereby they're down near the bottom of the table anyway.
Yeah.
So for me, there's not really a lot to look forward to if you're a Titans fan.
Yeah. Okay. So Titans, Knights, and look at this.
Yeah, so that pretty much wraps up everything.
Hey, look at that. Hey, Joe.
Hey, beautiful. You get brought breakfast. That's awesome. So, yeah, I think, and that pretty much wraps it up for the countdown.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Anything else to add? Not much?
Well, I think Canberra's going to go better than you thought. That's one thing.
Yeah.
And I think you're right with Titans. Unfortunately, I think you're right with Manly too.
Yeah.
What do you say?
It'll just be
14 for Manly.
Sorry?
Look, really, I think Panthers could come top again. I really do.
The intriguing thing about these lists is it's just a case of wait and see and how it comes out in the wash.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I will let you get on with your wonderful breakfast.
Okay. Yep.
And you have a great Sunday.
Okay. Yep. And episode 100, we did it. Congratulations.
We did it. And thank you everyone who's not necessarily all of you have stayed with us the course, because a lot of you have dropped off. Some of you have. We love you.
Yeah.
And to anyone who tunes in and out, we'll take what we can get. And as far as like and subscribe is concerned, we'll take what we can fucking get. So like and subscribe. And thanks everyone. Beautiful. Cheers, mate. Bye.